It's now time to shift gears to our gorgeous hostess, Ms. Sarabi Kanal. This will take us to MedLove. MedLove is a non-profit organization that serves humanity. On this set, Sarabi ji has invited Areli Perez for a quick discussion. Let's join this dialogue.
This is MedLove with your monthly talks here at Global Television Network. Welcome to all of you in the United States and around the world. I'm your hostess, Sarabi Kanal. Today on the show, we have a very special guest, Miss Areli Perez. Let's all give a warm, wholehearted welcome to Miss Perez.
Thank you for having me here.
Now, Miss Perez has quite a fascinating story to share with us here. I will just like you to go ahead and share whatever you are comfortable with.
Like we talked before in the morning, I just want to share that I was a part of the story that where I was almost engaged with a human traffic. So I decided to come to this country when I was underage, and my mom tried to do the paperwork, and she did the paperwork with the wrong person. So I was 17 years old. So we decided to get them down because it was no way how to come to the United States. I was underage, and they put my age like I was, I think, 25 years old. They do the passports and everything. So we fly to Mexico, and then is when everything started. Everything that I saw, too many things around me that I was like lost in a country that was not my country. And everything started when I took the flight to come where they say to the American dream. So, but basically it was like a long trip. It was like almost 2-3, it took us 2 weeks or 3 weeks to come to this country. So I come to this country with a person next to me that she was coming with the same dreams to cross the border. But we didn't know. We didn't know that we were going that way that I'm gonna explain you later how was it. We thought we're just gonna take a plane and we're gonna just go like fly into the United States. So we arrived to Mexico, and they say you're just gonna follow instructions. A taxi come to us and say, oh, who's Areli and who's Maria? And we were like, here. We were like, we didn't know what we were going through. So they ask you to take a cab, and they take us to a hotel. And they say you have to stay there for tonight, and tomorrow another person is gonna come to take you with you guys. And then I was like wondering, oh, we're gonna take a flight the next day to go to the United States, but everything was a lie. They took us all belongings away from us. They took all our clothes, all passports, so we basically stayed with the same clothes and with no shoes. They give us sandals. So they say the next day you have to take a taxi and go to this station, and then you guys gonna take a bus, then you're gonna go to Tijuana. And we were like so lost. We were scared to call the police because we didn't know what was happening, if our family paid the money, so that we didn't know. We were like so lost. I was so ignorant. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. So we followed whatever they say. We took the bus, and it was a long trip for a week. And each stop, it has a story because they took me out from the bus telling me that you were not from Mexico, come down with us. And they were the police officers. And they were asking me about a lot of questions, like, oh, you have to come with us. I know we know you have to cross the border. I know you're not from here. And all the people from the bus, like it was like 30 people, they were like, no, don't take her. And we're gonna pay you money. And they pay, I think it was like $500, $700. That it was a lot in Mexico. So the cops, the police officer, they leave, and everybody on the bus were telling me, don't talk, close your eyes, fake that you're sleeping because there's 2 more stops. So I was like, what's happening? I don't know what's happening. And they were like, those are people that take girls from the buses, and they took this girl, and you never know about them anymore. So for me, it was like I was living a nightmare because I didn't have my phone, my mom's phone. I didn't know if I trust the police anymore. So I get there to Tijuana, and they put us on a motel. But this time we were not just 2 girls. This time we were like 30 people in a room. From that day, we wait another days to try to cross the border. So nobody there knew that I was 70 years old. I was the only younger one. Everybody was like families, but I was the only young girl in that group of 30 people. And I decided myself, I was like, I want to see my mom, I want to cross the border, I'm here already, so I have to do this. So it took me like 3 times to try to jump the walls, to walk on the mountains. And the second time I tried, I remember, I was trying to walk and they told me, no, she can't come here because they're gonna rape her. She has to go back. And for me, it was like, why this is happening to me? I just want to see my mom. And so they took me back to the motel, and I worked like a few days, so that way I can know. I didn't know if I would be alive because it was too many people around me. Everybody was like smoking weed. It was like a word, like I don't think like some girls like me, they survive because I think I was so lucky. I think I have angels around me. After that comes another story because we crossed the border with 5 girls, and one of them was pregnant. I remember she was 8, almost 9 months pregnant. We were on the truck in a sport car, and we were the 5 of us in a little trunk in a fetal position. For me, it was like I'm gonna die here because I was not able to breathe. But then I was afraid at the same time because I didn't know if these people were like people. Where if they were the nice people or the bad people.
Well, wow.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for sharing. That was very deep. Did you ever see who was the one giving you the instructions to go where you were going?
No, everything was by phone. They
So
just sent the
blind.
taxis. Mm-hmm.
It was blind. So did you ever find out who your mother paid money to?
They put her on jail, the people from my country, but never the people that was in Mexico or was in California, because everything was by phone. They just asked my money, like $40,000 a day. She wants me to see me again. So it was kind of a difficult time because I see how people can disappear in another countries when they are not their own countries. For me, it was difficult because I was scared. Even though in Mexico they speak Spanish, I was scared.
So definitely not a case of sex trafficking, but definitely a case of just blindly moving from one place to another. Thank you so much for sharing that deep story with us here today. This is Sarabi Kanal signing off with our guest, Ms. Perez. So thank you.